Okay, we're going to go through a very quick tutorial of using Audacity, the newest version of Audacity. A couple differences between the older version, so I want to make sure we point them out to you. When you are recording in Audacity, let's say that you've got all kinds of equipment that you have set up and you want to use Audacity to record off your equipment, you'll see here at the top of the screen you've got very basic functions. The rewind to beginning, play, this is the record, pause, stop, and fast forward to the end, or skip to the end. So when you're recording, all you really want to do is press your red circle here, your record button, and you will see this lovely screen, this track pop up on your screen, and it moves across and across and across and across. Now in this case I'm not actually hooked up to any equipment, so it's not really recording anything for me. So what I can actually do for you here is I can hook up my equipment really quickly, and I'll delete this track, which you can do by clicking on the little X here. And now we'll try recording again, and this time you will see the volume meters here at the top, and you'll see some of the audio going through the track. So we're going to click stop right here, and this is our audio track. So let's say that this was our entire show, and this was all we wanted to do, and we wanted to save the show and make sure we did it as an MP3. So what would we do? We'd simply go to File, we'd go to Export, right here. We click on export. A window would then pop up, and this window is like any other window that you would use to save audio files. So the first thing we'd look at here is we'd say we want to save as type. Right here at the bottom, right below file name, it says save as type, and we're going to click on MP3 files from our drop down menu. Then we're going to name it. So in this case I'm going to name it a test file, just a test, and I'm going to save it to my desktop. So here's all my other desktop stuff. I want to save this to my desktop. So now all I got to do is click Save, and this other screen, this metadata screen will pop up. Just click OK through it. Don't have to do anything with it. And just like that, I've saved my show as an MP3, and it happens to be sitting on my desktop. So let me delete this track. Let's say that I want to retrieve my MP3 off of my desktop. I would go to File, but now I would go to Import, and I would say Import Audio. And my screen would pop up again here. I'm going to click on Desktop. And now I'm going to look for my test file, which I just found here. I'm going to click Open, and there it is. There's the test file that I just got through saving moments ago. Now, let's say that I want to do a second recording here. Maybe this is going to be the intro to my show, or maybe it's some addition to my show. Okay, now I'm going to click Stop. So now I've got two tracks. I have a top track and a bottom track. This could be music, this could be an intro, this could be an edit, this can be whatever you want it to be. But you say to yourself, how do I get these two tracks together? What do I have to do? It's a really simple process. Up here in your toolbar menu, you've got these 6 tools here. The one you're currently on by default is the selection tool. It's the vertical one. Right down here in the middle of the bottom row, you've got this horizontal arrow. It's called the time shift tool. Once you go ahead and click on your time shift tool, and now what you can do when you bring that mouse back over your audio tracks, you'll see a horizontal arrow here. If you left click anywhere in the audio file and start dragging it, it'll move left to right, left to right. You can only move it left to right in the track. But since the track 2 here is my intro and track 1 is my show, I'm going to move my show right to the end of track 1. You see this yellow line here? This yellow line tells me that I'm exactly lined up with the end of track 1. So at this point I'm going to release my click. I know that track 1 is here. The end of track 1 starts the beginning of track 2. So I've lined up my audio files correctly. Now I want to save them, and this is a really simple process, but there is one little trick to it. You're going to do the exact same thing you did when you only had one track. You're going to go to File, and you're going to go to Export. And all the same processes we did before. You want to make sure you're saving as an MP3 file. You want to name your file. You want to save it someplace obvious. But this time when I click Save, it's going to ask me, well, in this case, it wants me to replace what I've already saved, so I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to say yes through my metadata. But now, at the very end, it gives me a little warning box. And the warning box says your tracks will be mixed down to a single mono channel in an exported file. I'm going to click on OK, because all that warning is telling me is you're going to lose your 2 tracks, and they're going to become one. We're going to merge your 2 tracks. So if you want to do that, which we do, you click OK, and just like that, it's saved. Now, here's the trick. You'll notice that you still have 2 tracks on your screen. And you'll say to yourself, well, what the heck happened? I thought I just saved the file as one continuous track. Well, you did, and I can prove it to you. I'm going to close these 2 tracks here, and now I'm going to go back to File, import audio. I'm going to go back to my desktop, and now I'm going to click on that test file again and open it up. And now you will see I have my full track here. Part 1 and Part 2 mashed together into one nice long mono track. Now, let's say you want to do some edits to this. You've got an or a the or a pause or a problem somewhere in there. You're going to want to go back up to your toolbar. You're going to go back to Selection Tool, this one right here. Click on it. And now let's say that you don't like the first part of your track here, the first couple seconds. What you can do is by left-clicking and dragging your mouse, you can highlight a segment like I just did there. And we're going to go ahead and click the delete key on our keyboard, and just like that, it's gone. You could either use the backspace or the delete. Either one is fine. And by the way, if you ever made a mistake, you can always go to Edit and Undo, which is the first one at the top. In this case, Undo, Delete. But since I wanted to get rid of that one, I'm going to leave it where it is. So anytime you want to delete something, it really is as simple as highlighting a part of it and then just deleting it. And you'll notice that the waveforms roughly conform to whatever word it is you're trying to get rid of. A couple of other quick tools that you may want to know about. Up here at the top of your bar, above where the numbers are, you'll see this magnifying glass with a plus. That allows you to zoom in on a part of the track. And the one next to it, the magnifying glass with a minus, no surprise, you can use it to zoom out. Also, in addition to just using your delete key, let's say I wanted to get rid of these two words here, you can use your scissors, which is the cut tool. And right next to it is the copy. You can highlight a couple of your words and copy them and paste them into another part of your show. And of course, the third from the left is the paste option. And the only other thing I can think of that you might need to know about is the wonderful Edit Preferences tool. So Edit, and all the way down at the bottom of your drop-down screen is the Preferences. And you may, from time to time, need to check your recording device or your playback device. And if you need to check any of your devices, it's the very first one here at the top. It's going to say Devices. You may also want to check your playback. You may want to check your recording. You probably won't need to deal with any of this. But the only one you may need to deal with one time only is where it says Libraries. You may need to download your MP3. There's a lame MP3 encoder that's described in one of your downloads. This is the place you're going to want to go to deal with that. And probably the only thing you'll ever have to work with is this Locate button. You'd click on Locate, you'd find wherever you download your lame MP3 encoder, and then you'd click OK to open it up. So that would probably be the only thing you need to use this window for. And again, that's talked about in some detail in one of the attachments that's already been sent to you regarding Audacity. So that's pretty much it. That's the Audacity user guide. If you have more questions, feel free to contact me.